name is Birger, Mrs. Birger. I do have a blue gi top, but today I am training, so that's why I'm in white gi. If you haven't met me, I am with the Westminster Dojo, but cleaning goes for everybody. All dojos, all students, it's all the same. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how to clean your gear. Now that you're on break, it's a good way to make sure everything is ready to go for the time when we open up again and finally get back out on the mats. So if you stocked up on your wipes, get ready to put them to use. If you didn't, get some soap, water, anything that you can do to disinfect, antibacterial. That's the way to go for this. So I'm just going to break down everything in my gear bag. You can also wash your gear bag. Make sure that you are washing your gis while we're on break. Do not put your belts in the wash because the stripes do not withstand, and it can also dye the rest of the things in your washing machine. So everything else that's part of your gi goes in the wash, including if you have mat shoes, they can go in the wash as well. If you want to make sure it doesn't shrink on you, obviously do an air dry, same with the shoes. So let's get started with this. All of your gear, pull it out, make sure you have all of your pieces. This is a really good time to write yourself a list of anything that needs replaced. I do not have my foot gear because it is torn to pieces. It was just about time to replace them anyway. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, so that's why you don't see that as part of my gear bag. You've got your shin guards, gloves, your chest protector, and even things like your jump rope, any of the other equipment you have in there, it can all get washed. I also, now that I think of it, am replacing my mouth guard. If you're not ready to replace your mouth guard, but you would like to clean it, you just use a little bit of mouthwash, soak it in there, scrub it with a toothbrush. Don't put it in boiling water or your dishwasher because that's how it originally creates the mold. It will obviously destroy it at this point. So either replace it or go ahead and do the mouthwash and soap and make sure you get that clean before you go next time. Same with the actual container. If you wash the mouth guard and don't wash the container, you're putting it back in your dirty container. So make sure that that's cleaned off. For the rest of this, you're going to go ahead and break out your trusty wipes. And what you're going to start to do, for me at least, is I'm going to start with all of the plastic pieces of each of my gear items. And especially your headgear where you've been sweating it up in there, that is a great place to start. I would start with all of the insides and go through all of the crevices of each piece. Make sure, and you'll read this on a lot of your disinfecting wipes, and you can even look online too. It says how long you need to leave the item wet to make sure that it disinfects it appropriately. I think for Lysol it's 10 seconds, so if you're finding that you're wiping and it's drying really fast, spray it down, make sure to keep it wet for the full time before you go ahead and shove it all back in your bag. You want to get the most bang for your buck with this, especially since we're on a bit of a shortage. And you also want to make sure you're just not doing things that aren't useful. So make sure that they're wet for the right amount of time. Same with this, your shin guards inside, definitely outside as well. You can also undo the Velcro straps, and what I usually do is front and back, try and stretch them out and get into that, get into all the areas, since you can't take those apart. Again, you need to make sure these stay wet for the right amount of time so that you fully disinfect them, otherwise it's practically useless. For the gloves, same thing, you have a lot of cushioning in here. You're going to want to make sure that you, again, wet it fully. You might even run this one under a faucet to fully wet the inside where the fabric is. Then do your disinfecting. You can even do a disinfecting spray. I usually like to leave like a can or a cup to keep it open so that you have it, some airflow in there so it does eventually dry. Make sure that it fully dries before you stick it back in your bag or you're going to have some mold issues later. Same thing goes with your chest protector. Obviously this one is a lot easier because you've got a big area here. You can leave it open for the full duration of the drying time. Make sure you still get all the buckles and everything as well, and then you'll be good to go. Jump rope, pretty easy. Do the entire length of the rope, not just the handholds, because the jump rope part does hit the ground where you've got dirty mat feet on it all day. So yeah, that would be the gist of what you want to get done during this break. Wash your bag as well. Make sure you don't shove it in the dryer. You're going to wreck it, but wash it fully. And a good tip to keep in mind whenever you do come back to the dojo, it's going to start to get warmer. Kids are going to be outside playing a lot. To help keep our mats clean, keep your gear clean, if you're outside before you come to class, wash your feet. I know it seems kind of weird, but if you're running outside in the grass and you come on the mat, it's just as bad as wearing your shoes. So we're going to try to keep everything clean as soon as we open the mats up again, and we're excited to see you back out.